Hello film fans, and welcome to this episode of the Shlockian. Now, are you a paleontologist? And have you mislaid your tuning fork? If so, I think you might have left it on top of the head of Barbaridactylus. Hello and welcome to this episode review of Prehistoric Planet. And this is going to be reviewing the second episode, Deserts. So what did I think of it? Well, again, I thought it was pretty good. There were three things that got my attention. Raptors, Barbaridactylus, and Guppa air sap. So first of all, the Raptors then. Well, I was slightly disappointed that it was so brief, but very impressed by the design. Essentially, the Velociraptors are all feathery, as we now know that they were, but with still the long single claw on their feet. They look absolutely gorgeous and even more bird-like than ever. And basically the sequence was of a carcass with some tarbosauruses which had finished feeding and were now sort of lying down asleep. And there was this little lizard, and I love the fact David Attenborough even called it a lizard. In a series full of long Latin names, even he couldn't be bothered to identify it properly. And this little lizard's going around catching flies next to the carcass. And these Velociraptors are stalking round and trying to catch the lizards, and they catch a few of them. And then there's this great scene where one of the lizards runs underneath one of the tarbosauruses, and instead of being all cautious, the raptor simply dives headfirst underneath this huge carnivorous dinosaur, and the tarbosaurus then wakes up and tries to bite its head off. As I said, it was quite a short sequence, but one that I really enjoyed, and I absolutely love raptors. I think they're probably my favourite dinosaur, despite the fact they're only the size of your knee. And they just looked absolutely brilliant, and I like the scene when they're sort of running around chasing lizards. Of course, the big scene in this particular episode, and the one they sort of seem to have publicised the most, judging by the sort of promotional material around this, is the Barbaridactylus. Now you're probably thinking, Sherlockian, what does Barbaridactylus mean? And I confess I didn't know, so I looked up. And Barbary comes from the fact that it was discovered in Morocco. Barbary, old name for sort of the Mediterranean strip along the top of North Africa. I presume they chose that because it sounds old. And then Didactylos comes from the Greek meaning finger. I wonder how he got that name. Possibly the long spike on the top of its head? Now, I love the name they give dinosaurs, incidentally, particularly pterosaurs. I mean, I often think they sound a bit like dragon names from some, strange fantasy series. We must go and seek the dragon Barbaridactylos, and he'll show us the way. But anyway, that aside, this is quite a long, extended sequence where it shows Barbaridactylus with its sort of courtship and its mating display. So basically, males have two types of techniques to try and get females. One of them is to grow these long crests on the top of their heads, and then to display very vocally and openly, and sort of to keep their own section of territory in this sort of nesting colony on top of these massive cliffs. But the other way is to look exactly like females, and this is behaviour that has been seen in quite a few modern tropical birds. And basically, they then try and sneak in to the colony as kind of like infiltrators, if you like. And then once they're in there, they sort of court surreptitiously and try not to get caught by the big, huge males with the long crests on their heads. And it's a very cool, interesting section where you sort of see two different males and their different techniques in courtship. And I particularly like the sneaky one. It was quite exciting watching it, particularly when the male with the crest on its head took a fancy to the one which didn't, and actually displayed in front of it as if it was a female, which obviously thought it was. And I quite enjoyed that. It was a nice, bit of humour, but also slightly tense because you didn't know whether this huge male was going to end up spearing the infiltrator with its huge beak. But it didn't, so it all ended well. And then, of course, the final thing that took my eye, and of course this is the big main feature in this particular episode at the start, was the Titanosaurs and their displays. Now, according to my little brother who loves dinosaurs and has watched loads of videos on YouTube about Prehistoric Planet, he said that some YouTubers he watched didn't like the fact that the Titanosaurs had those little air sacs that went down their necks. I mean, I must admit, for a brief second when I saw it, I did think, can you be exactly sure? Bearing in mind all soft tissue decays when, obviously we find dinosaurs. Or at least most soft tissue, I should say. Can you be actually certain that that is what they look like? But having said that, it does seem to me, from what David Attenborough said, and some, very quick research I did, after by watching the episode. It does seem that the evidence is reasonably good that they may have had something like that, and it's as good an estimation as any, and it looks absolutely brilliant, particularly with that sequence which they actually put in the trailer with the Titanosaur and these sacs gradually inflating down its neck from that really sort of close-up shot, and then of course you see the Titanosaurs fight, and that was amazing. I mean, I have to admit, I never really thought, how do animals that big pick a fight with each other? And the answer is very slowly, but also incredibly violently. It's a bit like, I don't know, you've probably seen giraffes fight in your nature documentaries, where they sort of whack each other with their heads, and it's very similar to that, basically. But also they're standing up on their hind legs, so it's even more stressful. And I won't tell you what happens at the end of it, but it's very spectacular. And put it this way, if you were standing next to a Titanosaurus fighting, it would be like, I imagine, a small earthquake. It's just incredible. So yeah, that was my very quick review of the second episode of Prehistoric Planet. I hope that was interesting. Thank you very much once again for everyone that watched the first one, which again has done quite well by my very modest standards. So thank you very much for watching it, if you have done. And if you haven't watched it, then maybe you'd like to check that out as well if you enjoyed this video. But anyway, that was the Sherlockian. Thanks very much for watching, film fans, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.